Alrighty, hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Fixing Critters on the Farm. Today I am trimming a La Mancha Weather for a friend. This is a pet and he hasn't had his feet done for a while, so I thought it would be a good example to show how to get feet back to a healthy look here. So you can see he has a lot of overgrowth. His feet are actually still fairly healthy looking. He's not walking funny on his feet at all. So the first thing I'm going to do, I just want to visualize the sole. I want to see the sole down in there. Let me cut some of this off so you can see what I'm doing. So I clean it out and I'm looking for this flat part here. Right in there. This part here, and what I want to see that angle. That's the angle on the outside of the foot here. That's the angle that I want to cut to, where my clippers are. So I'm trying to keep this plain. And by plain, I don't mean like something boring. I mean like a plain, like a flat surface. So I'll start by just cutting off a lot of this extra so I can kind of visualize what I'm after here. All right. I like to take off this inside part so they don't hang up on their feet. And then I just keep cutting until it's fairly small and clean. And sometimes you just gotta whittle away at this, and that's okay. So that's pretty much, I would call that done. That foot. And then I'll do the same thing over here, and I'm going to try to get them to match so that so that he's walking on a flat surface, not cantered off funny or anything like that. You can see here there's a little bit of rot in this toe here, right in here where the hoof wall is separating from the sole. That's okay, you don't have to worry too much about that. You just want to kind of clean it up a little bit so that that's not putting pressure on there and splitting it off even more. Good boy. Now I kind of make a match. Make sure I've cleaned out this stuff in here so they're not hanging up. We want to make sure there's no surface area for poop and hay and stuff to hang up on and accumulate and pack into the foot. And that's pretty much it. Let's see how he stands on it. So what we're looking for is just like that, a hoof that goes fairly straight down, has a nice flat surface area here for him to stand on, and is not, sorry buddy, not too much bend back here. You want his pasterns to be pretty straight down, aiming straight down at the floor surface. Here's a diagram that I made of a foot that needs to be trimmed. And you can see that there's all this extra hoof down here that has grown down through the hoof wall. And it's just kind of excess down here at the bottom. What you want to try to do is find the level of the sole inside of that. So when you turn your foot over and you look at the bottom of the foot, you can see that flat area under there. And it's going to be pink in my diagrams here. You want to find that. That's the angle that you're going to want to trim this foot at. Okay, when the feet are long like this, what's happening is generally the hoof, the sole back here, the heel doesn't grow near as fast as the toe. So as this happens, it ends up pushing the whole foot this direction and can break down the pasterns in your goat. You end up with the heel coming closer to the ground and the toe twisting up, and that's uncomfortable for your goat. And you know, in a goat that is predisposed to having maybe slightly weak pasterns, this is just a recipe for disaster. Here's another way to picture it, kind of. This side obviously has been trimmed in my picture, my drawing. This side has not been trimmed. It's really hard to get that three-dimensional look here, but all this extra toe, hoof wall that's grown out can make the goat's foot look deformed or like an elf shoe. So what you want to do is you want to try to find this pink area, which obviously it's not going to be pink on a goat when you're looking. It's going to be hopefully kind of white, kind of grayish, whitish looking. You can kind of scratch at it to get a better view of it, but you want to find this area here inside all this mess. And what that's going to tell you is the direction that you can cut this outer wall off, at what angle to cut it off at. When it's all said and done, and you've removed all the extra growth down here, what you should basically have is that sole, that pink line there, should be what's touching the ground, the surface of the ground. What that does is it brings the foot straight down, and the weight that comes down through the ankle goes straight through here and into the ground versus having a bunch of angulation here that's not supposed to be there because the whole foot's twisting up. Here you can see my two diagrams side by side and kind of get a feel for the difference between the two and what you're looking for.
versus what you had before. See the slope here that we're trying to get rid of, and here we've got it nice and straight again. Here the sole is up off the ground, here the sole is laying flat on the ground. Notice the angulation here is kind of curved. Here our angulation goes straight again.